Hi, everybody. We are back and for a final video, let's talk about global standard for data protection. Whether you operate in Canada, Europe, or worldwide, frameworks like GDPR, NIS2, and DSP2 define modern cybersecurity and privacy expectation. UBIKA is built to help you meet them. And I really support privacy. I'm a privacy advocate. This is also why I'm proud to share this presentation with UBIKA today. And I have Joseph from UBIKA again with me today to speak a bit more about what do we bring and what is the core value as well of UBIKA and why we met actually, because I came with them when I saw like sovereignty, privacy, and the real value of the organization. So let's get in. Hello, Joseph.
Hello, Alex. Hello, everyone. Thanks for having me. My name is Joseph from UBIKA. I'm actually very happy to talk about this last topic, and it's one of the most important one. It's around data sovereignty and compliance, right? So a WAF is not just a security tool. It's also more related to, let's say, compliance. And when it comes to compliance, so one thing that we have to underline is that the WAF is going to decrypt the traffic and probably going to see a lot of these traffic that are supposed to be encrypted, right? And that actually opens big doors to lots of risk. And so the solution needs to be very robust, but also needs to have some guarantees that there's no backdoor. Okay, so our offer it's going to address the constraint around GDPR. It's going to also have a little touch around NIS2. We can also have compliance like DORA. We have other things around ANSSI, which is the National Agency for Cybersecurity in France, that is actually govern all the public and government institution when it comes to choosing a WAF solution. So all of this to say that our solution, if tomorrow your concern is, am I going to use UBIKA WAF? But I'm concerned about, is this solution going to expose my data or my sensitive data to, let's say, espionage or backdoors? The answer is no. Our technology being developed in Europe traditionally. Today, we are also present in Canada. So that means that we're compliant to all, let's say, the laws that are traditionally governing European companies that are headquartered in Europe.
Yeah, you bring a good point. All the regulation that comes to data protection, like they want to guarantee that there is privacy for the user and that the solution is not exploiting the data. Because in the end, it's all about protecting the data. And this is what UBIKA brings as well to customers. When they need to protect the application, they want to protect the data the same way. So the fact that UBIKA follow the requirement of all these regulations, which are pretty strong. I mean, Europe has been the leader in terms of privacy. Everybody, sometimes they say, yeah, it just brought so many cookie ban warning stuff, but it's not the point. The point is giving the data owner, which is the user, the control over the data. And that's what UBIKA bring, and they enforce for organizations that also need to comply with this regulation. When they put a WAF in front, they avoid attackers to be able to exploit and steal that data. So this is an actual valid security control that match the compliance requirements that allow organizations to safely protect the data. And as we saw in previous video, like it's on-prem, public cloud, private cloud, anywhere, this is matching. And these governances are only growing. I mean, you spoke about the one in Europe. I know Canada is growing. Quebec, we also have the Law 25, which is the GDPR. That has been transferred to the Quebec law, and Canada is working more on privacy and data sovereignty lately has been a big challenge. And in the software supply chain, infrastructure supply chain, because we are like in between infrastructure and software at this point, because you handle the data flow. So basically knowing where your data is going and that it's actually matching the requirement and the security control that it is an actual critical point. And UBIKA has all this certification, and you follow the law and regulation that we saw. I mean, Canada have a lot of information on the website that you've been sharing, the GDPR website as well. And that's something. And also, Joseph, I guess your customer were also asking for that as part of the compliance requirement as well.
Yes, Alex, thank you again for elaborating on all that, because today we're not only addressing customers on one market segment. So we're addressing customers all across different verticals. Meaning that, for example, when we're dealing with financial institution, they will ask you, if you're compliant with DORA. You also speak to, let's say, if you're speaking to any customer who is dealing with what we call aggregating user bank accounts. This is something that they are governed by what we call the PS
PCI.
PCI DSS. You have PCI DSS, but you also have the PSV2, and this is today something that we because we've been around in the market for more than 25 years, meaning that all these different customers, they come to us and they ask us, how do you position yourself versus those regulation? And obviously, what we say and what the customer today are happy with the way we position ourselves is that if your concern is around, they say, data privacy, we are fully compliant with the GDPR. If you're working with a highly regulated environment like the financial, then we're going to also work with you on the PCI-DSS or the regulation. Or if simply you're speaking about, let's say, on a high level norms or compliance like the PS2, NIS2, then obviously our solution can also address that.
Yeah, I like that approach because, to be honest, in Canada, we're always a little bit late on regulation and privacy. And given you are based in Europe at first, you had to comply with all these requirements and laws. So when the product comes to us, it's already matching higher regulation and requirement than what we may have on the market here today. So somehow when we choose a solution, it's kind of a safety net because we can confidently move on knowing that the solution matches the requirement of stronger security frameworks. So that's a very good point, and I like it.
Definitely, Alex. And thanks again for underlining all those important points, right? So this is why we have been doing research across different parts of the world. So we're happy today to meet with all the Canadian prospects to individually looking at all the compliance issue they might have, all the concern they might have around data sovereignty and data compliance. And I'm sure that we'll have a message, and we'll also have use cases that we can present to them. And thanks again, Alex, for having us around. And thanks everyone for listening.
Yeah, thank you. I'm happy because when it comes to the WAF, the place that all the data goes through, you want to know where the data is going. And that's how, why it matters to have a company that actually can tell you where the application is running, where the data is flowing, and how they match compliance requirement. So thanks a lot, Joseph. I think it's going to bring a lot of answer to the audience. If you have anything to add, otherwise, we're going to wrap around that.
Thank you very much, Alex, for having us. And thanks everyone for listening. And this actually close up to a series of different video that we've been doing. And so we stay tuned for doing business with you. We hope very soon.
Oh, yeah, definitely. See you later, people. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.